A lot to get to here at 4, and we begin with pinpoint weather. Hope you got outside to enjoy this blue sky, sunshine, and what really are mild temperatures for this time of year.
Yeah, hopefully a lot of snow got a chance to melt, but things are changing, and that includes more winter weather. Let's get to Chief Meteorologist Dave Frazier with more. Dave.
Yeah, beautiful day here along the Front Range. We told you yesterday that it would be due to a westerly wind. That's a warming wind for us. That wind is blowing here 22 to about 30, 31 miles per hour in the foothills. We're not feeling it in the city or on the eastern plains, but the wind coming off of that downsloping wind heats the air, and the result is this. Temperatures making it into the 50s. First time this year that we've reached that temperature. 60s, very warm to the south and east where we expected. A little chilly in Greeley, and even in the mountains, temperatures are in the 40s in some locations. Look at this. 24-hour temperature comparison. Just about everywhere in the state is warmer than we were this time yesterday. Denver by 12 degrees. So your hour by hour, we're going to stay in the 50s. Even by 11 o'clock tonight, still be at 37. Now, there is some light snow in the mountains. It was a little better this morning. They're in a little bit of a lull, but additional moisture is coming in from the west. So let me show you. This is all winter weather advisories from now through late tomorrow. Especially after the sun sets tomorrow, travel over mountain passes could get a little slick. So keep that in mind. So how does this play out? Well, watch the snow in the mountains. You can see it continuing overnight. Tomorrow morning, early in the morning, around 7:30 or 8, we're going to have a few snow showers coming off the higher terrain. But here's the deal. The low pressure is going to set up over here, and very quickly, this is noon, the wind turns northwesterly into Denver, and it kind of shuts off the snowmaking machine. However, on the eastern plains, there's going to be bands of snow. Look at the deeper blue, and it's here in these deeper bands through the afternoon that they could get 1, 2, or 3 inches. Mountains are looking for 2 to 4 with higher totals at the top of the mountains. But for Denver and the Front Range, while we won't rule out a little patchy, spotty accumulation, most of us won't be able to measure a ½ an inch. It just skips on by us. We'll take a closer look at that coming up. Get ready for some rain and snow showers on your Wednesday. We'll update those totals for you, and then it's back to the mild and dry conditions like we enjoyed today in pinpoint weather.
All right, Dave, thank you. And if you drive or walk around the city of Denver, you might wonder why all that snow and ice is still not cleared yet from the streets.
Well, today the problem solvers are pushing for answers. The city tells us it did not deploy those smaller plows to residential streets during the last storm. For side streets, the city uses pickup trucks that do not carry de-icer. When the plows went out after the storm, the snow was too packed down to clear. The city says the most recent storm provided challenges that they typically don't see this time of year.
This was definitely a very challenging snow event for us that we had. It was basically a spring storm, a very wet spring storm in the coldest time of year. And so what that did was the snow got packed down very quickly, and it created icy conditions.
Well, the city is now clearing snow and ice from side streets if you ask it to. So if your street is still covered in ice or snow, you can call 311 or use pocketgov.com to report it. All new here at 4, an update and a string of assaults by a group of teenagers on a light rail train in Lakewood.
Well, this afternoon, police think there are more victims and need them to come forward. Fox 31's Vicente Arenas is following that story from a light rail station in Lakewood, where one of those attacks was caught on tape. Vicente.
Yeah, it is very awful to see what happened at the Garrison Light Rail Station here. Let's show you some of the video that first came back, I should say, out at the end of last year. It shows one of the attacks taking place. It's a violent attack. You can see it right outside one of the trains that was parked at the Garrison Light Rail Station. You can see what police say is a group of people that at one point seemed to be struggling in the train's doorway. That group then takes off running, some of them holding skateboards. Moments later, you see a person who appears to be struggling just to get to a bench. So far, 13 juveniles have been charged in the case. They range in age from 15 to 17 years old. Today, Lakewood police said they know there are other victims because those attacks were caught on video, but those victims have not come forward.
In some cases, people are just afraid to report that. They may be afraid because it was a group of juveniles that attacked them, and they don't want to get involved because they think maybe they'll get in trouble because, you know, they may have fought back against these juveniles.
But police are saying those folks don't need to be afraid, but they certainly would like for them to come forward. They're saying if there is anyone else out there, it would help to file more charges against this group of individuals, and police officers are saying that they expect there to be more arrests. These juveniles were also seen damaging property. And what the Lakewood Police Department is saying, if these juveniles come forward, they will be able to file additional charges. But right now, I mentioned that there were 13 arrests made. They believe this is the core group of individuals. The largest group is now under arrest, but there are still some others out there. So for right now, they're just hoping that other victims come forward. Reporting live from Lakewood, Vicente Arenas, Fox 31.
All right, Vicente, keep us posted. Thank you. Tonight, we are learning more about two snowmobilers killed in an avalanche in Grand County, that is, on Saturday. 58-year-old Bruce DeYoung and 52-year-old Darren Kadurka. The two victims are neighbors and friends, according to family. They tell us the duo had just been up snowmobiling the week before this accident. Now, tonight, we are hearing from a group of people who tried to save those two buried backcountry riders.
They stumbled across the avalanche during a recreational snowmobiling class. The group was up on a mountain the majority of the day. During the class, they actually passed by the area where the avalanche happened. That was just a few hours before it. While they were riding, 4 students up front saw the avalanche and noticed right away there was a person in his sled buried. So with guidance from the instructor, Mike Duffy, they found the first victim using his signal from a beacon. They began shoveling to try to get him out. The second victim was recovered Sunday by Grand County search and rescue crews. The class of 9 students is crediting their training beforehand that gave them the confidence to step in and help.
I don't think a lot went through our mind other than we need to get down there right now and start searching for the victims. It took us about 7 minutes to get the guy that was wearing a beacon excavated and out of the pond.
And they're good. I mean, they're very good. So they knew exactly what to do. And they didn't hesitate to get in the water. They wanted to save a life.
Coming up at 5, we'll take a closer look at the very dangerous conditions they faced during that recovery.
In other news, the city of Denver is now taking action against a local bar after a security guard there is accused of shooting and killing a man early Monday morning. Fox 31's Alex Rose in studio on it this afternoon. Alex.
Yeah, Talia, 23-year-old Dante Pacheco Rodriguez is facing a first-degree murder charge, and now the city's Department of Excise and License is suspending licenses for 2 Denver businesses who provide security and operate the bar where this whole thing happened. The city suspending the security guard employer license of J&M Security LLC and the hotel and restaurant liquor license, along with the dance cabaret license for Vigua LLC. Both of those businesses will be able to contest the decision during a hearing. A date for that hasn't been set yet. Pacheco Rodriguez is accused of firing his gun 6 times after a fight inside the Restaurante Lempira spilled outside the bar. A man was killed in that shooting. Now, again, Pacheco Rodriguez is also facing 5 counts of investigation of attempted murder for the shooting that night. Our Greg Nieto is on it. He's going to have much more on the story tonight at 9. Alex Rose, Fox 31.
Today, Governor Jared Polis and Lieutenant Governor Diana Primavera both sworn in right here before a big crowd at the state capitol as they begin their 2nd term leading Colorado. Fox 31's Gabrielle Franklin was there and tells us what the governor says are his top priorities for the coming term. Gabrielle?
Yeah, Matt, the theme of the governor's address this time around was Colorado for all. And today he laid out ways that he wants the state to achieve that vision. Governor Polis summed up his priorities this year in 4 main points. He says that his goals are lowering the price of living in Colorado, also making communities safer here in the state, improving the quality of education, and protecting rights for Coloradans. The governor saying the unpredictable events of his first 4 years have prepared him for the next 4.
As your governor, I will always promise you that whatever comes our way, we will face it together with resourcefulness, with innovation, with grit, and with a powerful, positive vision. We will protect our freedom, our Colorado way of life, and together we'll build a Colorado for all.
And the governor also noted some key areas where he says he was able to make some achievement during his first term, but he says that climate change is one area where he was able to start during the first term, but he wants to make a lot more progress this time around. We'll bring you a lot more of that coming up at 5 o'clock. But for now, we're live outside the state capitol. Gabrielle Franklin, Fox 31.
I look forward to seeing you then, Gabrielle. Meanwhile, today, a groundbreaking new test now being fast-tracked by the FDA.
All new at 4:30, how scientists say the test can detect autism in babies using just a single strand of hair.
Plus, evacuations continue for thousands in California as more severe weather hammers that state. Coming up, why the threat is not over just yet.